Mendoza 520.
Hi, I'm Toni Kingston. My job is all about working with animals in the most primitive habitats in Africa, South America, and everywhere else in the world. Madagascar, Seychelles, Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, Amazon, Philippines, Komodo Island, Indonesia, Borneo, just to name a few. Back in the city, I like to promote conservation by sharing my wildlife experiences. Behavioral enrichment, wildlife rehabilitation, wildlife education, conservation campaigns. Of all the snakes in the world, pythons and boas are among the biggest. So some boas, like anaconda, they are the biggest snake in the world, and the reticulated python is the longest snake in the world. But there are also some smaller species of pythons, just like these, the royal pythons, as known as ball pythons. They can grow to only around 5 feet long, not anything big, but they are still in a python family. So now, because they're so popular, so they come with all different sorts of patterns and colors, like this one, light color one, and the other darker color one. They're of the same species. And also this one, thank you, Shuisa. And also this one with beautiful pattern on the back. So pythons are among the most primitive snakes in the world that are still living, because they are among the first group of snakes that first existed. If you take a close look in front of the snout, you can see a row of holes right beneath the nostril and below the eyes. So those are the heat pits, which help them act as a heat sensor to sense prey. Because they're nocturnal, so during nighttime when they come out, they have kind of night vision, not from the eyes, but from the heat sensor they have. So anything that's warm, that will appear in red or orange color. Anything that's cool or the environment, it will appear like blue or purple in color. So the ball pythons, the royal pythons, just like all other pythons, they can swallow prey bigger than its own head. So with a royal python, like this size, he can feed on something like this big. Prey items can be mice or rats or small rodents or even birds. So when you take a look under the chin, you can see a line in here. Just right under the chin, you can see a line in here, which helps them stretch. When they're swallowing bigger prey, they can dislocate their lower jaw, something like jaw-dropping performance. And they can make their mouth a lot bigger than this to be able to swallow bigger prey. So that kind of line is like a stretch line. So because the skin is really flexy, so they can get their mouth open really wide to swallow something like this wide. What? Right? So they may take up to a few days to a week to digest the prey, depending on the temperature. So all of these royal pythons, they are not like how they look like in the wild. The original color is something darker, like this. This is the typical original morph of royal python, as known as ball pythons. So then now you can see she's coiling into a ball, typical behavior of being shy. So by doing this, it helps to have the head right in the middle of the body for protection. This is the perfect protection for snakes without venom. So the only thing they can do is coil in a tight ball. Hopefully predators will not be interested in tackling so much difficulty, then leave them alone. So the royal python, oh, he's moving. So the royal pythons, they're here, and I think they're beautiful kind of python with a good personality and generally not aggressive and very nice animal. And generally not aggressive. As I mentioned, pythons, thank you, pythons are the most primitive snakes in the world. So, because snakes used to be lizards, because during evolution, some kind of lizard somehow lost their limbs and turned into snakes. So, because pythons are among the first group of snakes that ever existed, so they still remain some kind of traits in the tail, in here, right here. Let me take a look in here. This is the cloaca. On the side of the cloaca, you can see two tiny, teeny, tiny, weeny little hooks in here. And those are the remaining legs from evolution. How amazing.